Hello everyone and welcome back to Bits and Bytes. In the previous video, we have discussed what is Rust, basics of Rust, areas where Rust is getting used, and the use cases of Rust. In this video, we are going to discuss how to install the Rust in your computer, or simply we are going to set up the Rust environment in your machine. So without wasting further time, let's get started. So in order to run Rust in your machine, firstly you need to have an IDE. IDE is an integrated development environment. I am downloading the Visual Studio Code as an IDE in my machine. I'm going to code.visualstudio.com and from here I can simply download it from this button. Once the setup is downloaded, I can easily install the Visual Studio from this setup. After successfully installing the Visual Studio Code, I need to install this Rust installer in order to install Rust language and its packages in my computer. So I will go to this website rustlang.org. From here I can see there are two options, Rust setup of 32-bit and of 64-bit. So for my computer I am downloading the 64-bit version and you can download accordingly whatever is your computer setup. In order to install Rust in our computer, we need to install Microsoft C++ build tools as well. So to download the Microsoft C++ build tools in the same website from where we have downloaded the Rust setup, we can see here Microsoft Visual Studio C++ build tools as a hyperlink. If we click on here, it will open this particular website of Microsoft. From here, if we click on this download build tool buttons, it will download the installer of the Visual Studio. Once the installer for Visual Studio has been downloaded, we can simply install the Visual Studio installer by double click over here. As I've already installed it in my machine, I am showing you the further steps. To download the required C++ workloads and environments, I am going back to the Rust website. And from here, if I scroll down, I can see this Rust up as a hyperlink. I will open it in a new tab. And then again, I'm going to MSVC prerequisite. From here, I can see these are all the things which I need to download in order to install C++ tools in my computer. So I will install them one by one. We need to download this desktop development with C++. Apart from that, we need to install certain components, including this MSVC v143. I will move to individual components. I will simply search here MSVC v143. So this one we need to install. Apart from that, we need to install the Windows 11 SDK if you are working on Windows 11. We need to install this Windows 11 SDK as well. Once we are done with all these things, we will move to language pack. We will select English and then we need to click on this install. Once the build tools for Visual Studio C++ are being installed in our computer, we have to restart our computer, and after the restart of computer, we can install the Rust in our machine. In order to install Rust, the setup which we have previously downloaded, if I double click over here, So to proceed with the installation, I need to click 1 and enter. As I have already installed Rust in my machine, I am not going to install it again. To check if you have successfully installed Rust in your computer, go to command prompt, type here rust c space hyphen hyphen version and press enter. So here you can see rust c 1.76.0 is being downloaded in my machine. So this means I have successfully downloaded the Rust in my computer. As we have installed Visual Studio Code, Visual Studio C++ build tools, and we have installed Rust in our computer, which are all the required things to set up Rust in our machine. So we can now move further in setting up the Rust in our playground, that is the Visual Studio Code. So in order to set up Rust in Visual Studio Code or create a new project of Rust with the Visual Studio Code, we have to create a folder. I have already created one folder over here with the name of Rust installation. I will select this folder. Once this folder has been selected, I will open the terminal, new terminal. Here I will type cargo new and my project name rust underscore installation and press enter. So I can see my package of Rust is being installed and my project has also been created. So I can see this main.rs file over here having the primary code of hello world. If I run this particular code over here, you can see it is working fine, it is working perfect. Okay, once I have opened my folder in the Visual Studio Code, I need to install the extension for Rust. I will click here and under the extensions. Here I will type Rust Analyzer. This is the extension that we need to download. I have already downloaded it. You can simply install, click on install, and it will get installed in the Visual Studio Code. Once the Rust Analyzer is installed, you can simply see all the auto type things is being available, and you can write your code here. I click on run, and yes, it is working perfectly. So with this, we have completed the installation setup for Rust in our computer, and now we are perfect to write our code. So that's all for this particular video. See you in the next video.